Hi, my name is Crystal Francis, and I am going to go over my ESL teacher observation. So the first thing I want to discuss is the context of the classroom observation. I observed 8th grade ESL teacher Miss Seymour on April 25th, 2022 at 10 a.m. This is her first period of the day. However, she has two blocks, third and fourth. So this will be the kids' um, either second or third period of the day. All right, so here's my rubric here. I had a breakdown of everything concerning the rubric on how her lesson was laid out. So she got mostly threes and fours. The only thing she got a two in was scaffolding techniques. Um, So she didn't really go over the worksheet with them, but I know at this point in the year, scaffolding is really not as needed. But I feel like with ELs, it should be done at all times. And also for 29 regular feedback. Um, so as the students were completing their worksheets, I did not see a lot of feedback. I know for ELs is very important because a lot of times I realized, and what I've learned in this class, they need a lot of reassurance because they are learning a new language. So everything else was great. She had everything listed on the board they were supposed to do. The content objective, the worksheets that they went over were very on level, and um everyone in the class seemed engaged and ready to learn. So I really liked the classroom environment overall. So she started off class by going over the context content objective, and the students would read chapters 8 and 9. They were basically finishing up the book, Claudette Colvin, Twice Towards Justice. It's a book about Claudette Colvin. She was a civil rights activist. She actually gave up her seat before Rosa Parks. And I really liked the book because there were a lot of visuals and large font and short chapters, which is really beneficial to EL students. And also, it was really vocabulary heavy. She went over a few vocabulary words that will come across in the chapter. And once they read a chapter, they'll complete a worksheet. And then once they completed that worksheet, they will go over the next chapter. So the students were able to work together in groups, which is good for students who are beginner, advanced, and advanced high. So the way the seating arrangements are, so there can be a good mix of these students. So when there is time for group work, they can feed off each other, and the beginners can learn from the students that are on a higher level. Based on my reflection, my I enjoyed um observing her class. Um, like I was saying before, the book they were reading was very appropriate for their grade level, and also with them being ELs, there are a lot of images, so they're able to make connections to the text as they were reading the chapters and they saw the pictures. A lot of times they needed uh they had questions about how the image related to the text, and Miss Seymour did a good job at explaining to them what was going on, because also we have to think about there are social norms um that are different than what they probably have experienced, because I remember there was a picture of the civil rights leaders and the people who attended their meeting at a church, and they asked them why are they all crowding around each other, like, there was a problem. They said no, the meeting is in the church, and they looked that way because in the midst of the meeting they were having church, and that's how they're reacting to the minister and the speakers. Is showing that they are really feeling what they're saying. So that image not only helped them identify what was going on, but also social norms among different groups of people. And also what I noticed was a lot of students were willing to read out loud, which is an awesome thing because for ELs, it is very important that they have that practice speaking aloud. It will really help with fine tuning their English skills as speakers and as readers. And I realized at that point, like, if they are so willing to read aloud, they're in an environment where they feel safe and seen and understood, which is always a really, really good sign. Um, Even one of the students that I was told by Miss Seymour was a beginner, they've improved over time. They read aloud. There were stumbles on the words, but Miss Seymour has a rule in her class: only the teacher corrects someone when they read aloud to avoid embarrassment among the kids. But I just really enjoy that classroom environment. So overall, like I said throughout my presentation, this Miss Seymour did a really good job. The only recommendation I would have for her, because she does have a word wall. However, I noticed on her word wall she does not have any pictures. And as I stated previously, images are really important for ELs because a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, all the times, they need to connect words and images, because a lot of times in the English language, certain words have multi meanings, and they need to understand what certain words mean in a certain context, and also just an image to go with the word so they can have a better understanding and visualize the word as they're learning it. So overall, I really enjoyed my observation, and I'm going to take everything I learned into my classroom on next year.